Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me and watch this video. Today we will wrap one of the notebooks or notepads, you might say. I made one and I thought that this would be such a great idea for a gift or maybe even for a craft show if you would choose to sell this. I think that the presentation is just adorable and it's very quick, easy project to make. And actually you could use scraps of the papers that you have to actually make this. So let me show you what we're gonna make. I actually put this in little cellophane wrap. If I would choose to sell this in a craft show, I think that's how I would wrap it. But this is pretty much the presentation. It's really nice, slim. I think it's a beautiful look for a gift or for sale. So I included pen holder right on the front, right in here. So any pen, it's gonna fit this, and this is actually serving as a closure. So if you remove this, see, it's nice because this actually you can fold it flat. This is the reason why I chose this particular design. So when you keep it closed, you can't really tell that this is in here, yet when you put your pen, it's a closure. So you open this almost like a window. It's a very simple look on the inside, yes, yet I think it's very, very elegant, very classy, beautiful presentation. And here is our notepad, which I decorated the front. I made this one just pretty much one notepad. It's not replaceable, but you could create a sleeve, remove this and put something else. It's just that I think that this pad is thick enough. It's gonna take a little while to use this up, and I thought this is such a beautiful, easy and quick project to make. So as I mentioned, you could use leftover paper to make this, and that's exactly what I have done in here. I used the leftover paper that I had from this collection, Magical Thinking, and this is the one I purchased from MaKala's. I know many of you have this collection. It's beautiful paper on the inside, and I did some other projects from this collection. I had some paper left over, so that's what I used to make this one. So we will use one sheet of cardstock, and I had this leftover paper, which I will use for the outside. In this collection, they are cut aparts. So I use this one cut apart for this project, and for the next project, I will use, I think, this one. And I'm choosing again this for the inside as well as whatever I have done in here. So we will also use notepad, and I know some of you mentioned that you are watching from other countries, so I will give you dimensions. This particular one is 4 inches wide by 6 inches high, and this is approximately 1/2 inch thick. So all of the dimensions for this project and whatever we're going to make is based on this size of the notepad. So the first thing we're going to do, we will pre-cut our cardstock. So our cardstock needs to be 6 1/4 inch tall by 9 1/8. Now I chose 9 1/8 dimension because I like this look with the opening a little bit on the middle in here. If you want, you could make those front flaps a little bit wider, and you would have to cut the cardstock a little bit longer. So we will score this, and we will score at 2 inches and 2 1/2. We will turn it around and we will do the same thing, 2 inches and 2 1/2. So as you can see, there isn't really much scoring we need to do, and this will become pretty much the body of our notepad cover. So let's fold this over and let's crease this really well on all sides. Just like that, and our cover is pretty much done. See, it's a perfect fit. It looks already really, really nice. So now we're gonna cut the paper to decorate this. So for the front, I'm choosing to use this paper. So the height, we will cut 6 inches. And actually, I think I might cut it this way. And now for the middle panel, we will need, let me just quickly measure this. This is 4 1/8, so we're gonna cut 3. The width is gonna be 3 7/8. So this will be for the back, and for the front we need 2 pieces. Let me just trim this. We need 2 pieces that measure 1 1/4, and I'm sorry, 1 3/4. 1 piece, and 2 pieces. And for the spine, we will cut just a little bit less than 1/2 inch. And we need 2 pieces. So let me just trim this. and another piece just a little bit less than half an inch, almost 1/16 less than half an inch. And this is another piece we got left, which we could really use possibly for another front. So this will be for the outside. And as I mentioned, I'm going to use this one for inside. So we will cut the same dimension as we cut for the back, which was 3 7/8. But let me cut 6-inch piece first, and then 3 7/8. And now we're gonna cut 1 3/4. One more piece, 1 3/4. And for the spine, we will cut just a smidge less than half an inch. And I'm gonna trim it. And one more piece, just a smidge less than half an inch. And that's to cover the spine. And now we can start decorating. So these pieces are for inside, and this is for outside. So let's just glue this. Approximately 1/8 of an inch border all around on the outside, just like this. Oops, a little bit of glue, but that's gonna be covered. I am using art glue, art glitter glue for this project. I will leave information in a description. And I know that there is some other glue on the market. There are some options. I just like this one. Okay. And now the other side. Now we have Mother's Day coming up. I think this would be very cute, quick project to make. So now we can cover the spine. And the other side. And the outside is already done. See how quickly this went? So it takes really no time whatsoever. to make this. So now for the inside, I don't think you even have to put any paper on the back. I did in my project. It just gives little extra body, little bit thickness. So this is the reason why I use that, but you really don't have to, because the notepad is big enough and it will cover the entire back anyway. So like I said, I'm placing this more for just extra thickness for this cover, but you don't have to. So now we're gonna put the glue on both sides. Right here. And I really think that this is such an elegant project and so quick to make. And actually, I think it's fun to make this one. So, and I think it's simple enough that I think every single one of you can make it. And I think it looks like $1,000,000. So now we're gonna cover the spine. And as you can see, we are using such a small strips of paper, so you could easily make plenty of them, I'm sure, from the leftover paper you have. And it will look beautiful. Okay, our cover is done. Let me just make sure everything is squished. All right. I think you can see it already that this presentation is just beautiful. So now we need to cover the notepad. So to cover the notepad, you could really use any paper that will match inside, or you can use something different. And this is the reason why I chose to put almost like a, I know that this is not plain, but at least it's a solid color. It doesn't have any flowers, because then you can use any leftover paper to cover your notepad. Okay, I will use this same paper just because this is what I have left over. So I will use this to decorate the notepad. And as I mentioned, this notepad is 4 inches wide and 6 inches tall. So I will cut this paper to 8 inches by 4 and 1/16. When I cover notepads, I really like to cut the paper just a little bit smidge wider than the notepad itself, just because I want to make sure that I will cover everything underneath. So as you can see, we got a little bit movement in here, and we can position this really nicely. So now we will just fold it over and create those creases. One here, and the second one right here. Just make sure when you fold this paper that it's straight. So now before we glue it, let's just try it. And as you can see, everything will be covered. It's gonna be perfect. So I am gonna glue the back first. Just like that. Let's make sure that this is all stuck. Okay. And now we will glue the front. As you can see, this didn't glue, but I am gonna put the glue right here on the cover, although I'm not going too close to the edges because I want to make sure that I do not glue that notepad pages. So now when we fold, you can just realign it to make sure that everything is covered. Just like that. And now our notepad is done. We will place it just like that on the inside. So I am just going to apply the glue right here. Again, I'm not going too close to the edges. And I will position this right on the middle. When you position this, just try to close it just like that to make sure that your notepad is really on the middle. So now I'm going to squish it from this side just to spread that glue. Okay. Now I do have some MaKala stickers. So if you are planning to sell this, maybe you have your little labels to promote your business. Maybe you are selling those things online also. You can just put your little label just like that on the back. And our cover is done pretty much. I mentioned to you that I put some decoration in here on the middle, and that actually usually you have a sheet or two with cut aparts, so you can choose one of those. Maybe you have some extra in your stash, so you can use that. And I will use this one just to show you in my previous one, just because the one that I used didn't have any border. I actually glued on the top of this type of backing, and this is how I created this border, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Now, the piece that I'm planning to use in this project, it has a border already, so I don't want to put anything else. I think it would be too much. So I am just gonna place this, and maybe you want to make a little note or leave it as an option for somebody. If you're selling this, maybe somebody wants to give this as a gift and place a little note in there. And I will just place this on the middle, just like that. So our cover is done. I think it came out adorable. I think I'm gonna use this pen I bought these pens at Michael's, and we can position them just like that on the angle. So from leftover pieces that I have, we will make pencil or pen holder. And what I did, I pre-cut strip approximately 1.5 inch wide. I don't care about the length because we will score this. So we will score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, and 2.5. I will turn this around and I will repeat the same process. So you need to make sure that this piece is long enough so your scores do not overlap on this side and that side. So 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, and 2.5. So you see this is my last score on this side, last score on this side. So you want to make sure that you will end up with 2 pieces with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scores on both sides, and that will become our closure. So wherever you have the 5th score, I will cut it right before that score, and I will do the same thing on this side, just like that. So now we will fold this over, and you see the shorter piece I am gonna glue on the top, just like that, and that will become our pen holder. So you can just fold this over and squish it. Here's our pencil holder, and here will be the second one. Now if you like this project, please hit like button, share, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate all of this. Really helps my channel grow. And here is another one. We will glue it just like that. Because it is a square, you can lay it flat and it's easy to open. Now the side, double side in here, where we glue those 2 pieces together, this is the side that we will glue onto the cover. So for the cover, close the cover, put your pen. It really doesn't matter what kind of pen you have. But what it is important, when you put the pen on the inside, lay it just like this, and that's when you will make the decision where you want the piece to be. And actually, you know, I changed my mind. I don't want to use this paper. I see I got this one left, which I think it's gonna blend a little bit better. So I am gonna recut this really quickly. So 1.5 inches. And this is too long, but it's okay. Let me quickly score this. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, 2.5. Repeat on the other side. 2.5. Now I'm gonna cut this right before the score, right before the last score, and As you can see, we can make this really, really quickly. So just apply the glue. Squish this. One is done. Same to this one. So I'm applying glue only on that last panel. Fold it in half. Squish it. Here is the second one. This is how quickly this goes. So now when I position the pan, and this is the glued piece, okay. So when I position the pan, see this one blends much, much nicer. So we are positioning this on an angle. So I will glue it just like that, approximately in this spot. So here you go. Then you can put your pencil just to make sure, or pen, and this will work for me. So now let me just make sure it adheres, just like that. We got one side done. I am gonna put my pencil back, and now this side that we glued together, and you see the way it's glued, you can't even tell. So we're gonna apply glue right here. I will slide this over just like that, just to position it. And now let's just glue it. Okay. And as you can see, our project is done. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed this project. I think this is such a cute idea. And as you can see, it's very, very easy to make it. It's adorable presentation. I truly hope you like it. And I really hope to see you soon in my next video.